going to get a message for the day. I just did an unboxing for this on the channel. And I'm leaving the dryer and washing machine on, so I apologize, but I need to get it done. So I got the Karomi Tarot. It's probably the only time it will be there because I'm going to give it back to my daughter so she can rinse the energies off of it since tomorrow's the new year. It's really cold here in Virginia. I'm sleeping through the door. I gotta get like one of those mats. Alright, so Spirit. Ooh. So we got Two of Swords. So there's been a decision, a choice that's on your mind. These are really cool. Ooh, Lord. I think, you know, there might be something that you're not paying attention to, that you're maybe purposefully turning your back on regarding the situation. And sometimes we do this with willful blindness of certain things when it comes to making a decision because we don't really want to impede our morals upon the situation. So there's a Tower moment, and let's see here. So the Two of Swords in the Tower. So the Tower is going to disrupt something that has been in place for a very long time. But it comes right after a moment when you've had the opportunity to align your needs and be able to escape the threshold that this Tower moment has on you. Got the Ace of Cups. Oh, that flew out of the deck. We'll do one more. One more from Spirit. Is one more card, please. Ooh. So King of Wands, 2 cards, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. We also have Queen of Pentacles. So I think that you've had your eye on this for a really long time, and that you've been wanting to celebrate and accomplish something very important to you. And you haven't celebrated it because you felt like you not only had not the right opportunity, not the right support, but that you weren't going to be able to properly celebrate it the way you wanted it to either. You worked hard for something, it deserves celebration, and you also deserve, like, you know, the full thing, you know, the love, the money, and you deserve all of that coming in. However, it seems like you missed out previously, and so this Tower moment is going to be, it's going to come at the right moment, and it's going to open up people that have been blind before, okay? And they're going to see that you've had to put everything out there in order to be true to yourself. I don't know if this is making sense with this, but and I'm using my new Oracle deck, the Deep Love Oracle, okay? And so I think that sometimes, you know, when things fall, we can be a little concerned because in previous times in our lives, we have found that those certain things are what we need or are very precious to us. And so when they fall, it can make us feel ambiguous because we know it needs to fall in order for us to move forward and thrive in life. And people will purposefully try to hold on to a false narrative of people, places, and things that helps them with their personal narrative. And so they won't necessarily hold on to the truth of the situation at all if it goes against what they've been saying. And so this is language. Learn the language of each other's, communicate with the soul. So I think that some things go unspoken, and this tower moment came unspoken, but it was known that it needed to come down. And so all of this emotion and energy that you've put into this situation has brought you to a point where you're going to be able to use that energy as a catalyst to create abundance and thrive and be happy with everything you have. And you'll see that what you thought was being lost in the tower moment is actually coming back tenfold. But you have to learn to let go and learn to trust this tower moment, which can be hard considering it seems that there's previous attachments, symbiosis, depend on each other, growing together in a unique rhythm of unity. And maybe because, like I've said before, that you thought that this was going to happen, the celebration part was going to happen before. Maybe perhaps you haven't learned that the divine timing of everything, and also it wasn't aligned properly for you to be able to receive this abundance yet. And so sometimes these circles of life also teach us about ourselves, teach us things that we need to know. And so even though we feel like we're stuck in a loop, it's actually like a spiral, and we're learning like a spiral staircase. And each time we go around this staircase, we learn something new, thinking we're going to reach the top. We're going to reach the top. We're going to reach the top. And we never do until we reach the top. But by the time we reach the top, we've learned so many little things because we've gone in this spiral of our staircase, the circles of our life. And we learned all these different things. Okay, we have transformation, which contributes to the transformation. So people are going to be stunned that you've gone and become this great big beautiful, butterfly, but they didn't see all those times that you almost didn't reach the top. You almost didn't reach the top, but you didn't give up. You just kept going. And it turns conflicts into growth. Transformation turns conflicts into opportunities for growth, fueling the journey together. So when you had all those moments where you thought you were going to be able to celebrate and you weren't, and it wasn't aligned yet, you had to depend on yourself, and you had to learn that there weren't going to be other people. The people that you so desperately wanted to be a part of this learning process they're not going to be able to get to that point because this isn't they're growing, but not at the same pace as you. And so maybe they're taking, the scenic stairs, and they're only on like level 3 and you're on 30. And so they learned a little bit, and they see that you've grown so much and that you've transformed, and it's almost impossible to believe that you're the same person. And so in order for them to believe that somehow they missed out on the same opportunities, they think that maybe you had some sort of luck or something on your side. Because they can't seem to understand how you did it. typical, isn't it? A mediator. Oh, I love this one too. It's mediator. So be each other's mediator, balancing the scales of emotion. So I think over the years, you've learned to balance your emotions, and you've become a better mediator at deciphering whose energy you're going to allow in. And I think that's maybe part of the process that you had to, it's like the tower, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. You know, in order for them to even be able to jump out the top of the tower, they had to get to the top of the tower. And in order to get to the top of the tower, they had to go up all those little steps, right? Thousands of steps, probably, to get to the top of the tower, okay? And throughout that, they go through a lot of processes, a lot of different emotions. You start out really eager, motivated. I can do it. It's not going to be easy. It's a lot easier than everyone's saying, right? And then you get to maybe even here, and you realize you're not even to the first window yet. And so then you have maybe a hint of, you know, a hint that you might not be able to do it. Then you get another, like, I don't even want to admit that. So that gives you another spark of motivation, you know. And so the different emotions that it's taken you, and the different emotions that you've had to process to even get to the very top of the tower, to be able to outlook over everything. And then when you step there and you look and you see everything in the tower and you see all the land, there's an inner transformation, an inner transfer, like a symbiote, you know, it's a inner enlightenment almost about the journey. You know, you always get, when you look out at a view like that, it's almost like the journey is about something else than you originally set out for the journey to be, right? And then you can't give up. You can't turn back down because you've already made it, right? And at that point, you have two different ways to get down: jump or go back down the way you came. And it looks like in this case they can both fly, so they're not going to get hurt by jumping, and so that would be the easiest way. And a lot of other people would be like, oh my god, they're jumping, I can't believe they're jumping, they're going to regret jumping. But you're going to fly down there, land on your feet, and those other people are going to have to come back down the stairs because they're not going to believe that what they just saw with their eyes was even real, even though they saw it with their own eyes. And that turns conflict. It makes people wonder about your luck. And that's why I think people think that you're lucky. But in reality, you have a belief about you, a knowing about you. You knew you could fly. You didn't think twice about the fact that you knew you could fly. And you just jumped, right? So that in itself has a sense of confidence and charisma and courage that most people don't carry. And that is needed to be the Queen of Pentacles. Because someone who hasn't experienced that type of jump moment where they know and no one else knows that they can land on their feet, they're going to give into peer pressure. They're going to give into they're going to lose all their pentacles, first of all, because they're not going to understand that they have the ability to maneuver in such a way that others don't. And so therefore they can't listen to what others are saying about the way they maneuver through life. They've been able to mediate their own emotions to the point that others don't even comprehend anymore. And so that type of energy is baffling to some people, and it creates a sort of, well, it creates a sort of inner love language with yourself, where you are able to walk into a room, any room, and carry yourself with your head high and know what you've been through, and that most people would not be able to go through what you've gone through. So I hope this resonates. I just kind of just said what I saw, and really cute cards. I really like both these decks, where I got this is the Oracle deck I just got for Christmas, and my daughter let me borrow this. Probably, she's going to cleanse energy, so it's probably the last time you'll see it on my channel, unless I get it for myself. But I wanted her to have her own tarot, because she's been practicing with regular cards, and that's how I learned. So anyways, I love it, and I love you, and I thank you. And please let me know how this resonated. So if you would comment down below and tell me if any of it resonated at all. It was just a quick message to use both these card sets. I have an unboxing on both of them on the channel as well. So I recommend both of them. I love them. Very cute. The colors match. They kind of go well together. Like, even just I'll pick 2 cards. I mean, just the pinks, purples, everything, you know. It's a very cute deck. So, both of them. Okay. All right. Love you. Godspeed, rock and roll. Talk to you next time.